Good evening, Upper Peninsula. Thank you for joining us on My UP News tonight. Thank goodness it's Friday. I'm Andrew Lawrencer. First tonight, law enforcement have left the region empty-handed after a week-long search for human remains in a remote area south of Grand Marais, according to the Michigan State Police. Beyond that, many questions have gone unanswered. My UP's Schyler Perkins has the story on what we know and what mysteries remain. Schyler?
Obviously, after the search efforts, we did not locate any human remains.
After a week-long search, a spokesperson for Michigan State Police tells us investigators have failed to find any evidence of human remains in the remote Stanley Lake wilderness. But questions still remain about who they were looking for and what happened in February that led them here. Initially, we received conflicting reports, with personnel on scene telling us and people in the community throughout the week that it was just a training exercise.
Different agencies had different stories or reasons for why they were here or why people couldn't be here.
On Thursday, state police confirmed the search was related to an investigation spurred by information reported to detectives back in February.
We received, at the time, what we believed to be credible information that there was a potential that there was human remains out in this area.
We've since learned investigators from the FBI and Detroit Police Department were involved as well. But most information about the situation is going unsaid, leaving locals to their imaginations as they tour what searchers left behind. In the area, we stopped by Andy's Bar, a local watering hole, finding one man who said he was nearby when the operation was getting set up.
I was at the campground way up at the end of that road there. There's hardly a more remote place in the whole state, right?
From what he saw of the operation, he described what sounds like the use of ground-penetrating radar. Drone video shared with us by his son shows the true scope of the work, and what might be acres of land apparently cleared and backfilled. Touring the aftermath on the ground, we ran into a group on dirt bikes and side-by-sides who helped us see the full extent of the dig.
This is the weirdest part right here.
Yeah.
What's really weird to me is the fact that they did all this excavation all the way back here. They had to have some sort of a clue that they need to be back here.
But the tip couldn't have been that specific, because this is a lot of ground to rip up.
Meanwhile, speculation from the community only draws attention to the number of unsolved cases in the region and the number of potential victims still waiting for justice. Online, we've seen speculation about cases we now know are unlikely to be related, like the search for Starla Goings, missing earlier this year from the Munising area, and Derek Hennigan, last seen in 2008 near Newberry, let alone speculation about historical events.
Jimmy Hoffa.
That's where all the liquor came in from Prohibition.
And the Purple Gang used to be on Driggs Lake, supposedly, back in the 30s. So.
There's some history up here, man.
It's the reason we pushed MSP on if they couldn't say who they were looking for, could they rule anyone out?
I understand your question, but unfortunately, we aren't going to comment on anything further than just we were potentially looking for possible human remains.
I don't know. I'm not sure. They must have known something.
In Seney Township, I'm Schyler Perkins for My UP News.
All right, very interesting. Thank you, Schyler, for the update. For you at home, Schyler also told us that ECHLA has cast doubt on the involvement of Project United, suggesting the signs were just used because that's what was on hand. Meanwhile, the man who was camping near the search says he spoke at the scene with Sergeant Shannon Jones, a Detroit police detective who has gained notoriety in the press, leading high-profile missing persons investigations. The Detroit police, of course, refusing to share any information beyond their agency's involvement, and you can be sure we'll be working to learn more.